to the technical session, the keynote. So please let's pay rapt attention, bring out your journals, and just down something. So with standing ovation, permit me to invite Mr. Abiodun Olaoye to the podium. With standing ovation.
So, it's a non. We can see. Let's see. It's a non-technical presentation. It's actually something I'm not so used to, but I'm learning from a lot of my team members, or a lot of my family, GANKCO family members. And I'm being encouraged and pushed to gradually, integrate or transition into strategy, policy, and marketing, or the commercial part of the job. But today is probably going to be more of strategy. I'm going to be talking a lot of engineering, but nothing on the YDX, so relax. So the topic is life cycle engineering, academics, and industry synergy. I'll talk about sustainability in the energy, which is our goal, from cradle to grave. The field of well life cycle, we manage uncertainties. From the ivory towers to the wellhead, academics and industry synergy. And of course, we'll conclude and talk about the way forward, the pathway forward. Our goal is to make energy sustainable. That is us. That's what we do every day. We produce and we generate energy. Our primary assignment, or first assignment, is hydrocarbon production without polluting the environment, without harming humans and environment. And when I mean by humans, I'm also talking about both the animals that walk on ground, the ones who also live in the sea, aquatic animals, and the ones who fly. And of course our environment. We have to make this environment clean. Why am I saying this? When you tell someone you are a petroleum engineer, or you are a well engineer, you work in oil and gas, they look at you scornfully. As if, oh, these are the bad guys. These are the people who pollute the environment, who cause problems. We don't. They're challenging us, but it's an opportunity for us to work as scientists and work as a team. The second important goal for us is to make that energy affordable to all. We have to reduce unit operating costs. The cost of barrel, what it costs to take a barrel of crude or a standard cubic feet of gas from the reservoir to return to the end user. It involves a lot. And we're not just producing, we're not just drilling, completing, producing the wells. We also have to do what? Decommission the field, abandon the field. A lot of people don't think about this. Prof and I were discussing the last day in Abuja, and we're talking about field abandonment, we're talking about FDP, and he told me a lot of cool things he has up, ideas, but limited by either resources or people not thinking along this line. So many people don't understand this aspect. We have to return the field to its original state. We have disturbed the in situ stress. For some of you who don't like geology, that's one of my gospel. If you are not yet born again in well engineering, field development, please be saved today. We have to cost effectively abandon or decommission the field. We are lucky in Nigeria. For some of you who have taken your time to digest what you're being taught, we drill through multiple reservoirs. Our reservoirs they are not just prolific, they are stacked. So you pick and choose, you selectively complete. And there are laws. People say, oh yeah, in Nigeria there are no laws. No sir, no man, there are laws. And you need to understand it. These are not challenges, they are what? Opportunities. When someone challenges you, it's not bringing you down. It's actually making you better. It's pushing you. A preacher once said, the wind that blows you to your, he used the word paradise, that is your place of joy, your place of success, may not be the one you like. And I'll come back home. They ask us to do partial differential equation, partial fraction, go to economics and go and do operations research. We'll be like, oh boy, what are we doing all this? And the department I hated most then, that now happens to be my best friend. I tell my engineers, befriend geology, all geology. Geology is your best friend. And I'm telling you today, geology is your best friend. There are opportunities, not challenges. So knowing this is important. One of my bosses, when I was working out of Houston for Baker Hughes, and we were developing the global articulation policy for Baker Hughes, I would leave my office and I would go through to him and say, Steve, say, what is it, Olaoye? Say, I have a problem. Say, no, we don't see problem in this department. We see what opportunities. Tomorrow I'll go back again. I have a challenge. Say, before you start talking, Olaoye, we don't see challenge. We see opportunities. He is a graduate of mathematics from, I guess, Oxford or Leeds. And we were talking about statistics, and that was when I found out that all those things they taught you, number distributions, pear-shaped thing, iterations, and there's one I remember that Prof taught us, the Lagrangian interpolation in computer applications in petroleum engineering, and he taught us neutralizing and other, and I'd be like, whoa, I'm not going to need this. I was wrong. So, please, these are not challenges, they are opportunities to showcase. Don't destroy your notes. Keep them. What is the field life cycle? The field has a life. Your wells have life. We all know this. We explore. We appraise. We appraise. There are exploration wells, different strategies, different approach, concept. And when we are appraising the field, you also need to be there. We develop that field. You don't just explore and develop. You have to appraise it. You know. We produce the field. You don't just say, oh, we're exploring that field. We've struck oil now. Tomorrow let's bring pad. No, it doesn't happen that way. I told you about abandonment and decommissioning. Then the cycle continues. That field. Some people might define exploration well as the first well in the field. Yes. Undiscovered or unexplored field. But you also know something. You can have a known fault. Or that fault was not discovered at the first phase. But when you have improved seismic, some other smarter guys come around and say, I'm seeing something here. This is a fault. Prof used to bring, I'm privileged to have him sit here. So this is academics and industrial collaboration. So you hear me talk about him because he taught me. Sorry, my other GANKCO members. So if your prof was here, I will still remind him what they taught us. So he will bring isopac maps to the class, and he will say, yes, you have a talk, a fault here. At times he will go to the board. Then we're using chalk. He will draw. He say, yes, you have a fault here. This is non-sealing. This is this. There's no pressure communication. I'll just be looking at him down. All these things. What is he talking about? I wanted to be a well testing engineer. So I just needed to pass reservoir engineering and graduate. But today, I go back and remember all those things. So, when you're producing, or you're drilling an appraisal well, or you're drilling development well, and you're tying back your logs to seismic, the geologists come in. And that's what we always say. Geologists they only have how many hands? Is it 3 or 4? They say, it can be this, it can be this. On the other hand, you understand? And you're like, how many hands? You understand? Geologists are never exact. You can't pin them down. And how bad news for all of you. When there is a, what do we call it? Is it reef or redundancy or they are firing? Geologists are the last to go. When there is a screw up, I'm going to use that French language. You drill a dry well or dry hole, you have peak or blowout, or someone dies. Those of you who want to go into drilling have good and bad news. The bad news first. You are the first to go. If you are lucky not to end up in jail. So, everything they're teaching you, please learn. Don't just learn to pass. Learn to be an engineer. The geologists will always blame what? Is no. They'll say it's a fault. Yeah? You land the well in water, they will tell you. It's the dynamic modeling that didn't work. Oh, we assumed it. We have to run another law. You drill a well, you overshot your budget. The geologists will escape. The well engineers will have to explain why you did not think about it. And the geologists say, if you did not ask me. So, now, as you're developing, they come around and say, Ms. Speakers, I actually saw that there's a fault somewhere there. I think we need to walk away seismic to refine it. They come back and refine it and say, on the other side of the fault, there's a sand, there's a reservoir. That becomes what? Exploration. It's your job to either drill through that fault or you tell them how you're going to go to the other side of the fault and drill. Now, what if that other side of the fault is below trenchard hull. What are you going to do? Then you have to think of directional well, or you intentionally drill through that fault. Geologists believe that engineers have that magic road to get it done. Be a life cycle engineer. In GANKCO, we don't have drilling engineers or reservoir engineers. A lot of my engineers, I watch them, they call themselves well engineers. One baby engineer, we went to the field 2 weeks ago. As we were coming, I just got something, an update from LinkedIn. I won't mention his name. You guys probably know him. And I just saw well intervention engineer, and I said, wow. Just less than 2 weeks in GANKCO, you are a well intervention. I said, I beg you, please don't let people put me in jail. Because they will say that, wow, in less than 2 weeks, this guy is a well intervention engineer. That is the person I want to talk to. And I'm in soup. Why did I bring that up? We all like names. We all like designations. We all want to be. Yes. But Rome is never built in a day. It takes a lot. Be a life cycle engineer. When you want to drill exploration well, know it. Appraiser, know it. Everybody wants to be a drilling engineer just to be on the rig. But that's not enough. You must know what you're doing. Each phase of the hydrocarbon cycle requires in-depth knowledge. It's not just knowledge, in-depth. You must understand it. How does your physics affect it? Strength of materials, fluid mechanics, statistics, economics, engineering economics, engineering management, technical writing and presentation, well logs and interpretation. You need to understand them. You also need to be professional. And you need what we call guts. I won't use the word we use in drilling. So if you don't have it, it's going to be difficult. But I will call it experience. You can model. You can sit in this room or sit with your lecturer for weeks and model, predict. Without local knowledge, your modeling is nothing. Sustainability is the common denominator. Everything we do, we must be able to sustain it. Warren Buffett said, when you start a business, do not push for profitability, push for sustainability. If your engineering is not sustainable, now, I can't be students. They always make jest of us, other engineers when we're in school. You are in a narrow department. You can't work elsewhere. I have good news. Some of my colleagues are in the banking sector. They're doing so well. Some of them are asset managers. Some of them are, accountants. Some of them, they are in exploration. They are in, what do you call it, subsurface engineering. Some of them are facility engineers in Chevron who are mechanically biased now, and they are products of not just this department or this university, other universities, petroleum engineers. So please, petroleum engineering is not narrow. We are what Professor Lafui called a babalawo of engineering. You understand it later. The well and entire field must be preserved. I said it. No harm to humans and environment. We must collaborate to innovate. GANKCO, we talk to scientists every day. We're working on a technology that treats produced water with zero oil. We're working with some Americans. The last meeting we had, the man was talking about free radicals. He was talking about the hydrocarbons, even from the simple to the complex one, they are negatively charged. Who taught you? Where did you learn that? In chemistry secondary school. They didn't teach you in University of London. Do we still have chemistry 157? Oh, why did they change it to 156? Oh. Because even the Akara woman sell like Nabo in my days knew 157. Yes. You don't pass it, you don't move. But today, you find out those things out. I was talking about sheer chemistry. Activity series. Cations exchange. You need them. So when we collaborate, we can innovate. What is technology? What is engineering? It is the application of science and mathematics. When I say science, I'm not talking about chemistry alone. I'm talking about chemistry, geology, physics, material science, which is also an offshoot of physics, to design safe and cost-effective systems. So you need them. It's a toolkit. It's a toolbox. So don't just come to this department and make all A's just to pass and leave. And you find out that you get to the industry, you're only you're only as good as the school, but you can't apply it. And it's not just in petroleum engineering. You can be asked to work with Nathaniel. You can work with Madam Peters in corporate services, and she can tell you that, well, we're going to South Africa next month. You will go with me. And you're not going to talk about partial fraction there. You have to talk about strategy. That's where your GES will be important. That's where all those things they're teaching will be important. So talk to your other students in history, in mathematics, in sociology. Don't just read to pass, because you only pass through this system once. Our job, primary assignment, is to manage uncertainties. Why do you think well engineers, reservoir engineers, are paid higher than bankers or people who work in water resources? Because of this. Look at that. That's what we drill through the rock, various rocks. I have another news for you. There is no single foot of homogeneity in the subsurface. Don't think you're drilling a well here and you move 5 feet away. It's the same. No, sir, it's not. Your knowledge of sedimentology or stratigraphy, wherever they taught you the positional environment, will tell you that. This is another one. When geologists now process seismic data, they call these maps. I have no idea what the hell all this is. But I know they're important. I have to work with this to get the oil. Then I come in. I work with them from day one all the way to selecting the rig. Imagine that mass of water we have to drill through. And we're not sending robots there, we're going there. So those of you who are scared, you need that. And we have to drill to get it to surface. We have to tie it. We don't touch the oil until it is out of the well there, you see. And the fact that the well is producing does not mean the oil is good. Until it gets there. Ideas find the crude. The reason why I'm just relating everything to crude oil or fossil fuel here, because This is what brought us together. The same thing when you're talking of structural engineering, you're building your house, you're trying, people go to the moon. Something happened last year also. They said some people are going to explore or see the Titanic. They went with a submarine and they they were almost there before it imploded. To a subsurface engineer, that is pretty straightforward. Why? The system was designed the environment, the pressure regime was higher. So you get there. That's why we say that we can't get there, even though we joke that if anybody drops anything, send a geologist. But don't tell me. Our knowledge in engineering makes crude oil production real. It's no longer ideas, it's knowledge. When they say porosity, permeability, water saturation, formation volume factor, is you need it. You want to drill. You're talking of vertical component of force. When you resolve your force, when your well is horizontal, your weight is 0, but you still need to drill. What do? Physics. From the reservoir to the tank, we deal with so much uncertainties. Geological, human behaviors, government and geopolitical factors. If I asked people now what is the oil price today, maybe only 2, 3, 4% will know. You need to know because it affects you. Our mandate is also an uncertainty. That's all those things they reduce uncertainties to meet stakeholders' expectations. That is what they want us to do. We need the old toolbox. Everything learned in school comes handy. So that's another collaboration. Relationship between academics and industry. I'm talking about synergy now. From the Ivory Towers, I'm sorry, is Nathaniel, Sierra, and Madame. There are only 2 schools I have to choose from. And I have to choose the great University of Ghana. That gate wasn't as beautiful when we were here. So I'm proud to say that is my school. From the Ivory Towers, where we acquire knowledge, you are acquiring knowledge. I talk to Prof regularly. I talk to Olaoye in Uniben. I talk to Bello also in Uniben. What is this? What is this? How do you guys do this? I was asking questions in the lab. That's, where we acquire knowledge. Now, before we mobilize, we have to plan. In the office, we look at everything. When you have your packers sitting on the shelf for 6 months, packers have elastomers. You know the effect of temperature, humidity on elastomers. And someone tells you that packer was procured 8 months ago, so we can run it. Physically is okay. Yes, physically is okay. Stick that packer in brine at 5,000 feet below the ground. Reservoir temperature is 130 degrees C. That packer is going to swell. So you need to plan. I was talking about shared chemistry. So we do all this, we inspect, we ask, when did we get this packer? When did we get this elastomer? Do we have spares? Okay, we do. Please go and check what is the shelf life. So you plan. When there is failure, you can always go back. Then, see us in the field. We also have to measure, because now we're in the cold phase. Nobody is going to sit down and teach you, oh, the reason why we have this is this. But we say, remember, I taught you this. Remember, I taught you this. Remember, we mentioned this. All of us here, we all meet in the field. This is Madame. Can you see that? So those are our poems. She comes around. See, that's a wellhead in the middle of Atlantic Ocean on the jacket. If I show you the jacket, some of you will be scared. But you know what? If it is easy, everybody will do it. That's it. So don't just say, I'm a petroleum engineer. I just want to get out of the school and go and earn money. Please. Have in your hip pocket mathematics, physics, geology, chemistry, strength of materials, engineering mechanics, thermodynamics, statistics, and other courses you borrowed. Now, how do we collaborate? We need to research in-process improvement measures and technologies. We want to partner with you. We want to work with you. One thing you guys have to work on, when you call me or you call Madame or you call Elise and she does not respond, please don't pull back. We deal with a lot of things on a daily basis. Clients want you to respond and solve the problem because they think that you have the answers. So when you call, you send message, you don't get a response, call back. Knock. For some of us who read the Bible, when they say ask, seek, and knock. Knowledge. We also work to reduce carbon footprints. Everything they teach you, apply it. So we want to collaborate with you. We need collaboration in that area. See my arrow. We get from the academic community and we give back. You understand that later. We need to improve your practical experience. Not just internship. No. We also want to advise you on the choice of your final year project. That, okay, why not write a project on this? A lot of students come to me. I want to do this, I want to do this. And I say, okay, why not look at this? Why not look at this? Yes, they're excited. But they come back maybe when that project is done. What do you want me to do then? And there is a buzzword now, machine language, artificial intelligence. With all due respect to coding specialists, with all due respect to that artificial intelligence, I love it. It's just what is a new name for programming that they taught us. They're teaching you. You now think machine language is something else. No, sir. No, ma'am. Computer cannot do what you cannot do. I saw Mubarak last week, he was coding. I said, wow, you code? He said, yes. I said, great. I've got something for you. Come over to my office. There's this thing I do, offset management, blah, blah. You know, the first thing he said, I need data. I said, wow, do you? He said, yes. Why do you need data? Is that not machine language? Is that not artificial intelligence? He now began to ask, wow, I expected that. If you cannot come up with an algorithm, if you don't have a formula, what do you want computer to do? Computer will only do it faster. You are only telling computer, do this, do this, do this. When you have this problem, do this. That's what they taught you what? Programming structure and algorithms. So don't think that, oh, everything my lecturers are teaching me, AI will do it. No, sir. Is it Chat GPT or what do they? Is it Chat GP or whatever? Sorry, I'm old school. Some people sat down and wrote it. So you can also sit down and write something. But you need knowledge. If you have never traveled from here to Kano, you cannot describe this place to Kano for anybody. AI will not. Because AI has never been there. AI is nothing but just instructions. So we want to improve your practical experience. Take you out there. See how things are done. When we talk about lifting you up from the banana boat when there is no helicopter and they drop they call it billy pool in the Gulf Coast, we call it basket here. They drop it on the banana boat and you hang there and the crane lifts you up, swings you. If anything happens, that's bygone. It's a risk you have to manage. Then bring you up to the deck. You're lucky. Or they are drilling, or you're drilling, you take a kick. You're not running away. You have to control that well. Practical experience. I told you about final year thesis to be less abstract. I was working on ROP optimization a few years back in Houston, and I went to the library of University of Texas. I went online. Texas A&M and University of Texas. Yeah, MSc thesis, PhD thesis. I looked at those, I said, no, these things are not real. You're telling me that you can predict ROP by this, and you're telling me talk is this, talk is this. No, it doesn't happen that way. So when you have that practical experience, we tell you, when you put 35,000 pounds at the rig, just on at surface, you're lucky to get 70% of that, depending on the profile of your well. They taught you friction, they taught you inertia, they taught you what's that thing, lubricants, and how do you reduce friction. They taught you all these things. And when you are predicting your cost, it taught you iterations. I think this, what's the name of this model that they use in PP1, 10,000 iterations. I think it's Nitrafsin or so. No. Monte Carlo, sir. God bless you, sir. Monte Carlo. Did they teach you? For some of you are now in final year. Did they mention Monte Carlo? Thank God he's here. He will not teach you computer applications in petroleum engineering, and there is another great course he teaches us. And the late Professor Omali, they talk about Monte Carlo simulations. But thank God, software do that. But you cannot escape understanding Monte Carlo simulations, not stimulations, simulations. That is predicting, forecasting. So what does that tell you? I'm going to drill this well in 3 days. So you are going to you're going to simulate that, okay, my best record is 4 days. My best record was 3.2 days. My worst is 6 days. Now, I need to target 2 days. So the software is going to simulate it, 10,000 iterations. Some people sat and wrote that program. They only told the computer, do this faster. So if you don't understand, you won't be able to. And your management tells you, look, Olaoye, you said we're going to drill this well in 3 days. What is the probability of success? That takes me back to what? Get that one right into your DNA. AI is the future. I'm not contesting that. I want AI. I want my job to be easy. But AI cannot and will not do what humans cannot do. Oh, there's this big, what do they call it? Bouncer that guides the Sheikh of Dubai, and you see the guy, you're like, oh wow, That thing did not come from the throne of grace in heaven. Some people sat down and programmed it. And they are not better than you. Some of us are privileged to work with people of other races, from other countries. You find out that you are even better than the majority of them. The only difference is just the color. So don't think, oh wow, this is, no, sit down. Yes, we are under a different environment, but you know what? Necessity is what? Mother of invention. Don't look at yourself as, oh, I'm living in Ibadan, I live in Mina or Kano. So the person living in Alaska or Norway is better than me. No, bring that guy to Mina if he will survive 2 days. That is one adaptability. Don't look at your culture as inferior. Don't look at your language. They will tell you you have accent. They also have what? Accent. Don't pronounce things just because you want to feel belong. I'm not saying you should be arrogant, but you should be proud. Our mandate is to reduce uncertainties. That is what they want us to do. Reduce that uncertainty. We work with uncertainties. The further away you are from the surface, the bigger your uncertainties. The earth, physics tells us that what? The earth is a biomagnet. And you're going to acquire data. And the electronics to acquire that data, your azimuth, which is the bearing they taught you in maths, is it 241 or 141? Analytical geometry and mechanics. See, I remember. I have to remember, otherwise I'll be out of job. Yes, your bearing is not your inclination, and that's your direction. Your coordinate, they taught you that in geography. And if you did not do geography in secondary school, go back to your geology, map and map interpretation. You see? Thank you. It's very, very important. They're talking about the throw of your fault, the deep of your formation. They are important. For some of you who want to come to drilling, I welcome you. It's an interesting field. But it's not for the faint-hearted. It's not for the lazy guys. It's not for someone who will come and tell me about AI. I'll tell you, I've had enough of AI. So, management wants you to reduce uncertainties. Before we came for this meeting, we all went for a meeting. They were throwing numbers at us because they want us to hold variables constant. But you're not going to fight back. You have to respectfully tell them these are uncertainties. But don't tell them that it's difficult to do. You are paid to do what? To manage that uncertainties. Reduce it. You understand? So, data, here and there. Then as you gather real data, you go back and do what? And recalibrate. So, when we reduce uncertainties, we make energy more efficient and affordable. The group managing director, now the group CEO of NNPC during COVID, came out and he said they want to reduce UOC. They want the target UOC should be less than $10 per barrel. And my friend, who now is the vice president of Subsea, is a product of the university, electrical engineering. Tayo called me and said, hey, Abiodun, I want you to be part of that meeting. I said, I don't have time. He said, I will send you the presentation. After the presentation, he said, you know what? I'm going to Abuja and I want us there together. I want us to talk to one of the GEDs. I think you have a lot to tell them. And I said, well, he said, nice to have, but it's difficult to manage. There are many factors that determine your UOC. So that is knowledge. People are going to push you away. They are going to tell you you are trash talking. But when you know what you are saying, when you know your science, you know the facts, you will not have problem. From the ivory house to the wellhead, we must collaborate for proper application of knowledge. You know one thing that I will say today, engineering is not based on opinion. Engineering is based on facts. And everybody here is an engineer. She did not study engineering, but she engineers. Nathaniel and Sarah did not study engineering, but they engineer every day. How do they engineer? They think about things that have not been done. How do we do it? How do we make it better? If I tell you what she does in our facilities office setup, same thing with them. Your engineering is not based on opinion. I repeat, it's based on facts. Facts. For you well engineers here, always stay in the well. Live in the well. Imagine yourself in that well. At 5,000 feet, 10,000 feet. If you deal with me in meters, you work in some countries that their unit is in meters. Everywhere you are, be in the well. Think 3D, rotate like this. I don't know, for some of you are privileged to have gone to Chevron, ExxonMobil, and Shell. They take visualization room, 3D room. What they ask me, project your SAT suite. They say 3D. Put you, the existing day you wear when you go to the cinema. So, is that? God bless you. That tells you how rusty I am. So, you wear the thing and you see yourself down in the well. So, you look at this, northeast. This is the direction of the fault. The reservoir is tipped towards this side. So, all these things, you cannot exhaust them in class. But the foundations are taught. It is just a means to an end. They are all means to an end, not end by itself. Drilling is in fact, what you learn in school in drilling is less than 5% of drilling. Yes. Less than 5% of drilling. So you may score 7 points or 5 points is the maximum now in drilling, and you believe you are a drilling engineer. Nothing. But please crave for knowledge, crave it, discuss, make calls, talk to people in the industry. Don't be scared, don't be ashamed. Some of us can scream, we can yell, because of what we've been through, working in the field. We cannot just talk like normal human beings. We don't hear well again. When I speak and I don't hear myself, I've not spoken. I have to hear myself. People say, Olaoye, you yell. I say, I'm sorry. So when you call, I'm so, and I say, please speak up. I'm not being condescending. And I say, okay, can we discuss this later? Can you call me back? Please do well to call me back. We want to give back. Not just to do anything, but just to also give knowledge back. We've seen a lot, and we're still learning. A group was set up, now close with this. Someone in this department said they want to learn drilling. They want to learn well control. And that group, whoever set it up said, I will be the administrator. I said, you want to learn from me, and I will still be the administrator of that WhatsApp group. And I will still be the one that will be telling you, don't be so that they do more. You understand? And I kept quiet for a couple of weeks. for months, nothing happened. I quietly exited group. So, have cravings for knowledge. Work with your lecturers. Go and ask them questions. You can improve the industry. You can make energy cleaner, more sustainable, and affordable. When someone comes to you later or sometimes and say, oh, you guys are the bad guys, say, how? Oh, you destroy the environment, just say how? Oh, you kill this, you do that, say, just keep saying how. I tell you, by the time you say the fourth of it how, the person will be lost. But because we accept it, because we also don't want to tell them that we can make all these things, we recycle it. You remove oil from water, you put it back into the flow path or flow system, it becomes oil. Takes it to the refineries. They refine it or they sell it like that or whatever they want to do. All the byproducts are used, so it's recycled. Just make sure that non-biodegradable or non-degradable items are released to the atmosphere. That's all you do. Thank you. Okay. I understand there are questions, right? Do I stand here to answer? Sarah, do I stand here? Oh, excellent.